The night has not left my memory. Even in the silence of death, its echoes still torment me. I was one of the 12. I walked with Jesus, ate with him, watched him heal the blind and raise the dead. I saw him command the sea and silence storms. I called him Rabbi Teacher, but now I am forever remembered as the betrayer. Many will never understand what happened to Judas Iscariot. They call me thief, traitor, damned. Yet, in my chest once burned the same fire that burned in Peter, John, and the others. I believed in Jesus. I followed him from town to town, carrying the purse that fed our journey. I heard his parables, watched Jesus wash our feet, and even at the Last Supper, he looked at me with eyes I can still feel, eyes that saw through my soul. And yet, I fell, the first step toward the shadow. It began not with silver, but with disappointment. I thought I understood his mission. I waited for the day he would rise as a conqueror, the Messiah who would overthrow Rome, restore Israel, and crown himself king. But he spoke instead of dying, of serving, of losing one's life to find it. I couldn't understand it. How could the son of David be content with washing feet? He called us to love our enemies, love the Romans, the very ones who bled our people dry. It sounded absurd. And then, one day in Bethany, when Mary broke the alabaster jar of expensive ointment and poured it on his feet, I was furious. I thought, what waste, this could have been sold for the poor. But deep down, I was angry for another reason he allowed it. He rebuked me gently, saying, leave her alone. She has done this in preparation for my burial. John 12:7. Burial, why always death? Why not victory? That was the first crack. I didn't know it then, but pride had begun its slow invasion of my heart. The bargain, it happened swiftly. The chief priests had been looking for a way to arrest Jesus quietly. I overheard their whispers one evening, and something inside me stirred a thought, cold and cunning. If he is truly the Messiah, he will escape. If not, then I will at least have the 30 pieces to begin anew. I walked into their hall. The lamps burned dimly. The smell of incense and blood filled the air. They looked up as I entered. What are you willing to give me? I said, if I hand Jesus over to you. Their eyes lit up. One of them counted the silver into my hands. 30 pieces. The weight of it felt heavier than gold. It clinked in my palm like a chain. From that moment, something shifted. I could no longer meet his eyes. The night of the betrayal. When Jesus announced at supper, one of you will betray me, my breath caught. The room grew cold. Each disciple looked around, murmuring, is it I, Lord? I forced a calm voice, hiding the trembling inside me. Is it I, Rabbi? He looked straight at me. You have said so. Then he dipped the morsel and gave it to me. When our hands touched, a chill shot through my veins. Scripture says, Satan entered into him. John 13:27. I didn't feel horns or darkness, just a numb determination. I rose quickly and left into the night. John wrote it well, and it was night. When I led the soldiers to the garden, he did not run. He stood, waiting. His face was calm, though his eyes carried sorrow. I approached and kissed him. That kiss, the sign of friendship, became my eternal wound. He looked at me and said softly, Judas, do you betray the Son of Man with a kiss? Luke 20:48. Those words still echo through the caverns of eternity. The weight of silver. When they seized him, when the crowd struck him, when Peter's sword flashed and the ear fell, I began to see he was not resisting. He had always known. The coins in my pouch burned against my side. By morning, the madness of guilt had consumed me. I ran to the temple, the silver clattering in my hands. My heart pounded as I burst into the chamber of the chief priests. I have sinned, I cried. I have betrayed innocent blood. They looked up, unmoved. One of them sneered, what is that to us? See to it yourself. Matthew 27:4. Their words struck like daggers. I threw the coins down. They scattered across the marble floor, ringing in the air like accusations. For a moment, I stood there trembling. No one spoke, no one cared. Those coins were meant to buy a field, the field of blood. But for me, they had bought a curse.